Another stacked game of Counter-Strike incoming live from London for the FACEIT Major. This one is NaVi versus the Ninjas in Pajamas. Both sides have had their win, had their loss, and now find themselves in limbo looking for the second. What it will be is up to be determined by our analysts and of course by them in the server. I'm your host Alex Machine Richardson, and of course don't forget to stay involved on social media. It's really easy to do. You can join the conversation using the hashtag FACEIT Major. Hit us up and let us know who you're expecting to take this one, because I really don't know. And to talk about it, we do have Sean Gares and Bjorn Threat Pairs. You see, it rhymes if I say your name wrong. Yeah. Thank you. I'm here all week. So gents, we were just talking, in fact, Threat, just about 5 seconds ago, before the cameras started rolling, we were just admiring how absurd both of these teams' draws have been so far. Let me read the teams for the guys at home of their opponents. NaVi, so far, they find themselves 1 win, 1 loss, have had to play Astralis, full 30 rounds. FaZe, that's their 2 opponents, of course, top 5 in the world, both of them. Then you go against NIP, and they've had to play Mouse Sports and Liquid, all in the top 10. This is just, they have not had the luck of the draw so far, but still shown resilience, and, well, they're fantastic Counter-Strike.
Yeah, and I spoke with Peter before this game, and he didn't say it was unfair, but they were a bit frustrated that they got the NaVi draw in this third game, and it's especially because it's such an important game.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, NaVi, I'm sure, would be venting the same frustrations, but they just seem to be here to win, Sean.
Actually, Simple, from his interview yesterday, says he likes playing the harder teams because it riles his team up more, gives them more to play for, and they can show more emotion. Which, I mean, when you watch NaVi, emotion might not always be the best thing.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? NaVi, I think Simple's observations in that interview are worth repeating. He just simply stated that they don't play with the passion, they don't play with that fire unless they're tested. And I guess you don't get much more tested than Astralis and then FaZe back-to-back to start your major off. This next opponent, not easy either. Ninjas in Pajamas, who have looked good. NaVi, though, still trying to solve the riddle of NaVi personally. I just can't kind of work out how they sound like they hate each other every time I hear their comms, and they look so damn good in the server.
And it's been that way since the 1.6 days. I remember Zeus and Edward seems like they're yelling at each other all the time.
Yeah.
And for some reason, those timeouts still work.
They do. I mean, it just sounds like they can take a timeout. Hey, mate, I hate you. I hate everything about you. You're a horrible human being. Okay, guys. And then they win 10 rounds in a row.
I mean, it even happened in the first game versus Astralis when Edward knifed Simple, and they spent an entire, 2 rounds yelling at each other. Everyone's like, okay, surely they're crumbled. Nope, they took it to 30 rounds against the best team in the world. Like, how is that even possible?
Something works. This roster is brought to you by DreamTeam.gg, but something is definitely working for NaVi at the moment. I want to talk about that in that Astralis game as well, Sean, because, I mean, that was 1 round, 1 choice away from being NaVi's game. I mean, that definitely is a big feather for their cap, right, despite the loss.
I definitely think it is. I mean, NaVi had that game in their hands, actually, towards the end of, that second half, but it slipped out, and that's the story of pretty much when teams like NaVi play Astralis for the most part. NIP is a way different beast, though, than that Astralis team. They aren't so savvy with their utility, so maybe this could be a different story for NaVi today.
Yeah, and I mean, we can talk about the Ninjas in Pajamas, the Swedes that, of course, Threat used to stand behind and guide to their successes. What do you make of this new breed of NIP? They definitely seem to be playing different Counter-Strike to that you brought to the roster.
I think they're playing a mixed style of puggy CS, but also they have the more like good mid-run calls from both Pita and now Lekro, which is surprising that he's the IGL now of the team. And yeah, I can see some highlights here from Lekro. He played really well yesterday against Liquid as well. I talked with a few of them today, and they were a bit unhappy with that game. They lost, especially the first pistol round. Apparently they had some miscommunication in that round, and they lost, I think it was 16-12. So, I mean, if they just prepare more for the game today, I think they will have a chance.
Yeah, it was a Liquid that they fell flat against. It was Mirage, and actually Mirage does seem to be a bit of a recurring theme for the Ninjas so far. Whether it's a complexity situation where they've just been keeping everything else under lock and key, we're not so sure. But this roster is brought to you by DreamTeam.gg. If you were defining roles, Threat, I'm really intrigued just to hear them. I know you've said Lekro is a leader, and some people say that these arbitrary roles don't work for Counter-Strike. But if you had to, what would you say as we look at their faces in those names?
This is probably the hardest team to do that with.
Yeah, who's
the main opera? Okay, they have no main opera. So Lekro is the main opera. He's the IGL. He's a star player. He's the support. Okay, Electro does everything, and the rest is just filler.
I do. You know, you're presenting it like it's a joke. I don't think that's too far from the truth. Lecro, now you've said it. There is a lot of pressure on this young man. He was another one of those stories of gaining recognition through the FPL circuit. So many of them present here at the FACEIT Major. The likes of Rez as well. I really love the story of Rez, and just his raw mechanical aim is a feast for the eyes at times, Threat.
Yeah, he's probably one of the more mechanically skilled players in Sweden right now. I just think he needs a bit more experience, and he tends to fall under the pressure in the most important games.
And that man on your screen, Dennis, I actually think he's kind of playing a little bit low for his standards. I mean, by no means is he playing poor, but Dennis was an absolute monster, 6 months ago. And it's weird to see him not be the best player on this team, actually, in my eyes.
Just 1 year ago when they played that Blast tournament, I think it was a stand-in from Astralis. They came second, and Dennis just carried them to that tournament.
Yeah, completely unleashed. And I imagine that Astralis were kind of, it made their decisions a whole lot more difficult. Like, oh, who's this Dennis guy? He's pretty nuts. How's your Danish, Dennis? But either way, Electronic and Forest in the head-to-head is brought to you by The Predator, which is in cinemas right here, right now. Be sure to check it out if you have extra time from watching Counter-Strike, which is what you're doing right here, right now. And you should not move a muscle. Electronic and Forest. Now, this is a head-to-head I don't think I've ever seen before. Sean, you want to try and theory craft as to why?
Yeah, so we chose these two players because they're kind of like the second stars right now on both teams. Force has been really hot right now for NIP, and then Electronic obviously has been in incredible form in the last 6 months to a year on NaVi. Ever since he picked up his form, that's when they've really kicked it off and started winning tournaments. I mean, I think at one point they had 3 straight events that they won. So I think this is definitely the matchup to look out for here.
And I guess it's map dependent as well. Something that I find so impressive about Electronic is he's quote-unquote predictable on that CT side. You know where you're going to find him. Pit, for example, on Inferno, he'll be there, and he will still take 2 of you with him every time you try and push him out of that angle. He's he's a tick. He refuses to leave.
He's a classic good A-B anchor player.
Right, precisely.
I would compare him to Rops in that regard.
Yeah, and actually, we do have... Looks like we're ready to Rops and roll with the Veto. Inferno gone.
This Veto is actually one of the more interesting Vetos that we'll see, because both these teams play very similar maps. They both enjoy playing Overpass, they both enjoy playing Mirage, and they both enjoy playing Train a lot. So we're likely going to end up on one of those 3 maps, and it really depends on like how they want to steer this, each team. Because it could land on all 3 of those.
So we're not
maps.
learning too much from the Inferno and Dust 2 bans then?
No, not at all.
This is just NIP getting rid of what they want.
And both these teams actually play Nuke as well, so...
Yeah, I was just going to say, it wouldn't be that surprising to see Nuke. However, I don't think they want to gamble it in a best of 1.
Talk to Complexity and Big. I'll let you both have that conversation, because that was a game. Of course, if you missed that, check the VOD after this. First, Overpass and Cash gone from NaVi. Of course, you know Cash is going to be taken away when NaVi step in, and the Nuke question mark has been scratched. That's gone, leaving us with Train and what am I forgetting? Mirage. A staple of the map pool, which we haven't actually seen too much of coming into the Legend stage.
So NIP has defeated Tyloo on Train previously in the event, and they've had a lot of games so far Mirage, so it actually looks like they're going to go with Train. They're probably going to start on the T side. Oh
yes, and NaVi get the choice of sides.
Yeah,
you're going to have Zeus bring in the... Yeah, Zeus can, I guess, pull some punches, or... Well, that makes no sense. Can bring in the assault on the T side. I just don't know how that would make me comfortable. Teams picking T side into Train on a best of 1. Does that make sense to you, Threat?
Yeah, it kind of does when it's Zeus. He really likes to play those T sides and go for the economy pressure. So I think it's looking for, if it's not winning the T pistol, he's gonna try to apply pressure early, maybe drop an AK, and just not let the CT economy get out of control.
So the last time that NaVi actually played Train, they lost 16-3 to North. That's not a very good look. But with that being said, they won several games in a row prior to that. And this is actually a very good map for them. Unless, of course, they've fallen off of a cliff.
Yeah, well, I mean, some people's predictions have fallen off the cliff as well, which is where we're going next. We have the talent predictions updates for you, gentlemen. Anders and Jason, hey. How you guys been doing? How you holding up over there?
We're doing great. We had a great time just watching that Complexity game. That was amazing.
Can you see the prediction graphics in front of you?
God. Regression to the mean.
What's going on? Why is everyone even out?
Close. That feels, I don't know.
I still don't like that Dan always has this little 5% on us.
I don't like that little grin he has on his face in this little comic picture. That's a very cheeky little arrogant grin.
James yet to predict Bardolph as well. 60% for him.
Classic memes.
Yeah, but this is so close. What's happened? Yesterday we had some losers on there, and we had some winners. And I was part of the winner cruise. I was really enjoying that. Wow, it's gone all
I was
horribly
wondering where
wrong.
you were going with that.
And talking of winners and losers, it is prediction time, gentlemen. Anders, you want to set the pace?
yeah, I was setting myself up for that nicely. I believe in the magic. I'm gonna go with Nip for this one.
Nip?
I know it's madness, but I
Nip
have to do it.
to take NaVi. He says it's madness. Do you agree, Sean? Is this madness?
It is absolute madness.
Okay.
I'm going NaVi.
One for NaVi for Sean. And, well, Threat, this is another one of those Orky momos.
Yeah, you can't go back home if you don't pick Nip.
Logical thoughts.
Logical thought, I have to go with Navi. They beat
Ooh.
NIP 16-9 last time they played.
Where were you
Stab.
when Threat got removed from the NIP mailing list?
I don't think it's as much of madness to pick NIP, but I am going with Navi. I'm going to put faith in Simple and Electronic. I think that pairing of players is like one of the best, if not the best, 2 players you could pick off of a team in the world.
Yeah, I do think I'm going to see Nip in the top 8, but I don't think this is how they start that journey. I think NaVi take this one.
There you are, Anders. You got your wish. All alone, just like life.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Wow.
All right, you little chucklers. We're leaving Jason and Anders with you to cast this one.
Thanks, boys.
We'll always have you, Moses. There's no escaping now.
I know, I'm locked in. I'm here for the ride.
Well, then I think this is going to be a crazy kind of game. It's very I can't really it's hard to counter that argument of Simple and Electronic on a team. Like, it's very hard to come up with something you're like, yeah, but look at what I have in my hand, and it's like, you know,
It's nothing.
it's
It's magic is what it is.
It's magic. Like, I mean, we've seen Forest playing very well. We've seen Rez have some highlights. We've seen Lecro keeping up. But I feel like it would have to be like a combination of all of those players hitting like maybe one of their best games in the tournament.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Either way, we've got the Upcomer app, upcomer.com, where you guys have been able to chime in. Tell us how many of you think it's madness to predict NIP in this game, and we're going to find out. These numbers have been kind of fun to toy with all year. That's not bad. 45, 55. That's about as close. That's pretty fair, I think.
We've done it.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it can go both ways. I think either way, NIP is going to need that Lecro that has just been a beast recently. He kind of, you know, we see them struggle a little bit when he's in that. Like, he's just such a. When you have that third player that's just able to deliver on such a big level, you become such a more dangerous team. And here we go. I think one of the big advantages as well, NaVi getting to start on the CT side.
Yes.
They can get off to a hot start. This is going to be tough.
Yeah, welcome to the show here, ladies and gentlemen. NaVi on the CT side, Nip on the T side. One smoke is all they have, and they do have an upgraded pistol amongst them, so Lecro could definitely find a challenge with that. That's a pretty forward position for Rez to have taken with, I'm guessing nobody spotting him, so...
Zeus with that 5-7 as well towards Inner. If they were to rush him down ramp, he can deal a little bit more damage, has a lot more bullets in that weapon. The nade as well to kind of make a little bit of a chip in that choke point, and he can whittle him down. But this is NIP not really deciding where they want to go exactly. Simple just gets wrecked. That's a good way to put him back, but we know he's got the skill to recover even with low HP.
Yeah, you don't want to keep him alive in the round at all. He's so dangerous. Flamey taking the fight. He wants that USB headshot, but Dennis will drop him. And now Electronic up here in the sniper nest, just ready and waiting. Edward taking one. Simple with a headshot. Edward following up. Beautiful sequence of kills, and Electronic still alive up here. Get right, all alone. The bomb is far away, and he's going to get run down. Great recovery from NaVi. Very close to losing grip of it there, but that high ground position from Electronic was beautiful.
And also the push from Simple. I mean, once you get that, once he pushes in towards teammate and gets that one kill, even with low health, this was brilliant from Edward. But yeah, that one frag on Simple, it traps them in the bomb site. They have nowhere else to go. You can't slow things down because you're surrounded, and you're just funneled right into Electronic and the bomb site. Good recovery from NaVi after being put on the back foot early on in that pistol round. CZs and a Deagle on Lecro. 3 smokes to work with for the Swedes. See what they've got. Lining them up already. You imagine this is going to be just an explosion outside. No flashbangs to make anyone from NaVi turn away. They have that scout on Simple. They have the M4 on Flamey. That'll be the quick rotate towards Connector when this hit does come in. So the question is, will these UMPs be able to handle the Deagle and the CZs at range?
We'll find out right about now. Waiting for it. That wall to be set up. A little bit of damage onto Electronic. He's displeased for the moment. Grenades have gone in, and they're going to read this already. They know what's coming. That's a great headshot. Simple. Taking down Dennis. You don't even see it happening. It just is so incredibly fast. And now the rest trying to make it out. Tagging up one more player while he's diving off, and no scope on Get Right. And, you know, you see him do this sort of stuff early on. It's not even necessarily the impact. It's just a feeling of knowing that he might be having one of those games. That is very bad news for everybody on the opposite side.
Just a taste of what's to come, right? It's like that whole Shang Tsung thing.
You get that feeling.
It is just funny. I mean, he just takes that head off right at the start, and it's just so quick. You build the no-scope after that as well. But the real key to winning that round is that Molotov, or at least forcing back the danger. Maybe not winning, but that Molotov in towards the T-choke point, because the player over at E-Box, he's about to get run down. He gets that one kill, and then he's about to be swarmed, but the Flames just hold them back, which gives him time and pretty much allows the fact that NIP's not going to be able to push up the lanes appropriately, not going to be able to time those attacks together. Really good utility usage from NaVi, and it's 2-0. And this time NIP with no bomb plants can't buy anything.
No, so going to be another round where they can farm up some money, especially Zeus and Edward. Would be nice if they could pick up something there. With the MP9s, you do get more of a kill reward using these SMGs. Again, if you're new to the game, that might be just a slightly obscure part of it, but it does make a difference down the stretch if you can pick up a bit more. So a lot of grenades landing on Get Right, and Zeus will find that one kill with the SMG. So yeah, this is kind of par for the course, I feel like, in a third round where you don't have much of anything.
Oh, go hunt down that kill, get that bonus money. The SMGs want it all, and they're going to get it. 3-0. I imagine they'll keep all these, the two SMGs and the Scout, into this next round. We're not going to see an AWP on the board, and I think NaVi will realize that as well.
Yeah, and I feel like if you're NaVi, and I think they are the favorite team in this matchup, then you can kind of you can excuse them for doing this, right? They know that if they win this round with two SMGs and a Scout, that's going to put them so far ahead. So right. It's a risk, yeah, but
I guess the one thing you might maybe think about doing is dropping an AWP for Simple to upgrade the Scout, but I mean, we know he can be incredible with it either way. So here we go, first gun round has begun. The Ninjas trying to get on the board early. Electronic going to take some deep IV control. It's all towards the inner bomb site. It's all towards Zeus, and actually the rotation is so far away. Flamey is actually really deep into this outer bomb site. And Zeus is going to spot it out now. He's going to back away. SMG out. He does have a smoke and a Molotov, but holding on to it for just now. Flamey's got to get here. I don't think NIP's going to stop.
No, once they go, it's going to be all in, isn't it? Out, and Zeus getting tracked, but he does make it back, and Flamey was in the C-connector to take that kill. The Molotov, and Force fighting right on top of it, sitting in the flames, and the SMG is still alive, and finally he goes down. Lecro long-range headshot. That's incredible in the turnaround from Get Right. Taking down Edward, not bad at all, and Simple now. 1 versus 3, 25 health, and he can't make it out. A good hit there for NIP, and recovering from that flank was absolutely essential.
Oh, it was that one kill right before the flank comes in that allows Get Right to turn around and put his attention elsewhere. 3-1, nicely done from NIP. That timing towards the upper ramp. Flamey wasn't back in time. Zeus actually did a very good job, all things considered, that he got caught out guard in such a fashion. NIP's passed the early tests, and they do it with 3 players surviving, but now you're going to get
a tactical timeout, it seems.
Yeah, tactical. I mean, obviously you want to talk things over. You want to make sure you don't get reset here, or don't want to get responded on this quick. And you know, with the SMGs and the Scout that were still on the board, that you're going to get that AWP on Simple. You're going to get the M4s on the rest of the players. So it's going to obviously change the nature of the way you play.
Yeah, it's almost like you know it's there, but you also have to try not to think about it, because I mean, there are just very few answers for how to stop this particular player when he's feeling the game at a particular level. Like, obviously, the classical way to get rid of the AWP is to, I mean, the best way is that they don't have the money to buy it. But secondary to that, I guess, is trying to make sure you smoke him off and make his life difficult.
Get into the bomb site, yeah.
Yeah. But Simple usually doesn't mind challenging. Like, he'll usually close range. It's very hard to make him irrelevant in a round.
He'll hunt you down. That's for certain.
So, just waiting. I think maybe the tactical timeout just turned into a...
I feel like they might reset the round, because it looks like Edward has $0 and maybe, I don't know, maybe a misbuy that they want to start things over before the round begins, but who knows?
We'll find out. And, I mean, it's early on, so... This is a good opportunity, though, for the Swedish side to be resetting NaVi. If they can do that and if they can get back to, like, 3-3, then they've built a foundation that would certainly help them out a lot. So
Oh, hell yeah.
a lot to be accomplished.
Yeah, that'd be great right out of losing the pistol and losing the ensuing rounds. If they were able to respond that quickly and put Navi on the back foot. And like you said, you want to keep the money low. You always want to have him in that reset that area. So it does look like it's a little bit more intense of a technical get-right shaking his head.
I'm sure the admins here are...
I didn't know those nip jerseys had buttons on them.
Me neither. I would have thought you would have shelled out for one of them ages ago, Moses. I feel like
I have an NaVi jersey, actually.
All right.
Yeah.
So there we go.
A couple.
Not
these new ones. I have the older ones. The classic ones from like 2014, 2013.
I have one of those as well. It says Freiburg on the back, and it's because Freiburg gave it to me, and I just never gave it back. He actually didn't give it to me; just lent it to me. And I straight stole it.
Oh.
I thought, this is it. It's my chance.
He's probably listening right now.
Yeah. What are you gonna do, Freiburg? Just.
Yeah.
He's not at the major, is he? So.
No, he's not here. And I mean, he's probably seen you on Instagram with all your boxing pictures and UFC gloves and everything.
Yeah, but Freiburg used to play hockey as well. I don't know if I could take down Freiburg.
Now, that'd be a fun battle. You know, get these YouTubers off the stage.
Yeah.
Anders versus Freiburg, 2019. Top billing.
We could do it. Find a way. Do it for charity, Moses. Maybe.
Yeah. Thunderdome.
I feel like it'd be an interesting fight for sure.
Maybe it could be like a Movember thing.
Yeah, I would be into
I
it.
see you guys fighting with mustaches.
Listen, I'm never going to have a mustache. I know you wanted Moses, but...
We're going to get you into a mustache.
I would be immediately arrested, immediately put on some sort of list. It is not a good look. Listen, no. It's just not a good idea.
I'd be immediately put into like a Super Mario cosplay outfit.
Oh, man. So they're just changing Gerrard's keyboard at the moment. Apparently something broke. We can't have that.
No, you really can't.
Want all the functional keys, obviously. I mean, we're not using many of them in a game of Counter-Strike, but
no, but
still.
the ones you do use are vastly important.
Yeah, if you know, because obviously most of us play with WASD. I remember when I played like Duke Nukem 3D, I would use the arrow keys, and then after that changed. Do you know some people who play like with like Y, G, H, stuff like that? Like where they have like obviously the same arrow configuration, but just somewhere else on the keyboard. Yeah, that's very confusing to me.
It is a bit wild. I mean, I guess it's all the same shape theoretically. I still think the best story about like keyboard setups and everything like that is when someone on Reddit like downloaded Shox's config and he was like, "What the hell? Shox uses like Y, V, A, and like K to like walk around the map. Like, how's it even function with all the move keys?" And they're like, "Yeah, it's a French keyboard though." So, so this guy's like trying to move with like 4 different fingers on all different sides of the keyboard. It's just the concept of that just cracks me up.
That is actually really good. Yeah, I do remember the good days when you'd spend time finding the pros configs, and you'd have like a specific version of it. It's like, God, this is like his 2002 version of this,
This pro player.
Yeah, that's the best one.
That is the best form of that pro player.
So we'll see. Once Get Right is back in and everything is working out, we'll obviously get this game resumed in the 5th round. Where again, they have to overcome that AWP challenge that's certainly going to be coming up from Simple. Could even, down the stretch of this could even be like double up for Navi, and on Train, we all know how powerful that could be. So
Flamey with the AWP is no slouch.
Yeah, definitely not.
And especially if you're going to consider him, he's been the player in position on the pistol on that first gun run who rotates towards the inner bomb site. So you want to talk about a contact play at that upper ramp. If that's an AWP watching that area, you're losing multiple players.
Not at all a good time.
Let's go through the rest of the day, Anders.
Yeah.
Let's see what our predictions are for the rest of the day, because this is going to be fun.
We have a grudge match that's going to be coming up.
We do have a very nice grudge match. I'm excited for that. Next up after this one, and also for you guys tuning in for the schedule for the rest of the day, G2 versus MIBR. You going to go with the Frenchies?
I so badly want to, but I can't.
Okay.
I can't abandon Yanko.
Oh, so it's not even about the team play, it's about Yanko.
It's about Yanko.
Okay.
I don't know. I have to say, though, watching Shox in action on Overpass,
and even Cash yesterday with some of those clutches.
That made me feel a little bit special.
He's back, and like it's so cool to see, because remember, there's a lot of the viewing base that didn't get to see him in like when he was in Very Games and everything, and like when he was, the best player in the world for an extended period of time. He was just a god. So it's good that some of the newer viewers get to witness that. It's
really
his game. We're just playing it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with MIBR.
All right. Yeah, I'm going with MIBR as well. So we're on the same side there. Strawless Liquid.
Here's what's really annoying, Moses. This is the real problem I'm having. Like, I'm obviously picking Astralis for that game, but
you know,
I know that if I lose that, I'm gonna have to suffer through all of your stupid gifs on Twitter, and it's just gonna be annoying.
No,
so.
I've been posting a lot of gifts, probably too many recently. I think I've gotten lazy with my Twitter abilities. I'm obviously taking Liquid, and we're getting back into the technical pauses. Over for all you viewers, but FaZe Mouse Sports, last one. You think FaZe is going out 0-3?
No, I think FaZe is gonna be back. I have to keep the faith alive a little bit. Yes, the game is resumed here. 3-1 in favor of NaVi, Nip winning their first rifle round. Good hit to the B bomb side. That's a quick recap of what we've seen so far. And now double up straight away, no hesitation.
That is ballsy. All the money being spent by NaVi. This would be a phenomenal round for NIP to run break. They're back early on. Here's utility used outside. One of those AWPs on Flamey is in old hell, and Electronic is blind. He almost gets caught. Simple has the other one towards the inner bomb site, which allows Zeus to cheat his way outside. And Get Right is going to be the first one to encounter this op. And looks like he's going to want to wait for his teammates. Might be a double peek, and this will be a test for Simple.
There are so many ways to flash this angle, and then generally sort of ways to get rid of this player. But so a lot of the times people forget about it anyway, and they sort of like they try and shoulder bait it, but it doesn't really work out, and they get taken down. Now instead, Simple's moved back to a position that can get both smoked and Molotov. So we'll see if they can find a way to deal with him.
And flashed.
And flashed. To do all the things.
Lekro keeping that fourth player outside. Zeus still here. Simple has no backup. Oh, that timing. They're going to jump down just as he scopes away. He's going to be in trouble. He doesn't realize they're in, and that catches him off guard. NIP with a pair of contact plays. I think NaVi has to save this already. You cannot risk everything. You have money on Edward, who can drop a weapon. If Zeus doesn't get 1 or 2 kills immediately, there's the first, but he's traded. And yeah, the rest of NaVi had even called for a save before that fight came into it. Contact plays from Nip. We'll see if NaVi can respond.
You could be the best player in the world, Moses, but that kind of timing is just really unfortunate. Like, what could you really do at that point in time? And
Yeah.
I guess that is... Oh, that was very scary. We'll make it back.
He had the idea. He knew exactly what was coming. He was scoped in. He was ready and waiting. And as soon as he moves his position, and part of that is because, remember, with 4 players outside, you don't have a teammate in there to consider upper. So Simple has got to keep his eye on both.
Yeah,
and you've got to just kind of, you have to like keep your head on a swivel, as they say, go back and forth. And if you have that rotator inside that bomb site watching upper for Simple, he stays scoped up on that lower ramp. He gets 1 and he's ready for the second, and a good chance of getting it.
Yeah, that really was a consequence of the defensive configuration in that particular round. 3-2 now, and NIP. They kind of have to keep fighting now because of the saved rifles for NaVi. So that's something we sometimes criticize NaVi for, is the inability, I would say, to make these kind of calls. So I like seeing that.
Those save calls?
Yeah, sometimes they keep fighting forever and ever.
I think that one is very easy though. You know, when they're in a bomb site and it's going to be like 10 seconds into the bomb timer before you even get a chance to stage the retake. That's an easy save call to make. Again, Simple with the op alone at the inner bomb site. This time he's pushed up though. So they got to worry about that 1 choke point, but he can get double peeked. 4 players again outside. 5 smokes and a Molotov on NaVi still, so doing a very good job preserving that utility.
Rez being really active in yard alone. He's created a lot of space. He just needs the kill as well. Grenade follow up there and pushing through the smoke, and Rez, he can't complete the kill in time. Very, very good idea for a flank. Edward getting a little bit more damage in, getting the double. Flamey as well. That's going to be closing it out. Really well done. That was seconds away from completely collapsing that A-bomb site. If Rez gets that kill on Edward instead, or then, I don't know, it all falls apart.
And Flamey had to get super aggressive, had to put out the flames and swing around it. That is a very nice play. Good opening kill from Edward and staying alive to allow Flamey to get that frag onto Rez that allows Edward to get 1 more. That's a nice piece of teamwork there as they get aggressive during the hit. 4-2, and NaVi, for the moment, stave off any kind of economic break.
Yeah,
Gonna get another reset of the round, it appears.
It seems like it, and I just noticed as well, Flamey using the M4A1 as well. So we got him and Forrest both.
Yeah.
M4A1 players in the game.
Love to see that.
Do you?
Yeah, why not?
I've never been able to really use that weapon.
I haven't either, but
I don't know.
But I like seeing other people do it.
It does seem kind of cool when you see people sort of tap away. They have to conserve so much more ammo, so they almost have to be like very precise with it. There is something cool about that. Not sure what the issue is, but I can see Sue's pulling at the cord, so maybe something is up. He's pulled it all the way out.
Celebratory
Yeah.
tug of the headset cord.
Could be one of those things. I must say,
Yeah.
at like a couple of years ago, I tried out like a wireless headset at home,
Okay.
and the switch from I don't know for tournament use, but for just for my
Home
own
use?
home, it's incredible.
You like it?
Oh, it's
I hear a lot of people enjoy it because they get to walk around the apartment. Or
that's what I do. Like I
house.
go into the kitchen to get something to drink, and like I can just if people are talking on TeamSpeak, I can still hear them. Like I can,
See, I cherish that time of going to get a drink. Those long sessions of Counter-Strike, 5-6 hours, and you're like, you know what? I could just use not having a headset on. Let the ears breathe. Don't have to listen to people.
Yeah, but what if you're listening to music, Moses? What if you're following a conversation? I don't know. I kind of like it. And you don't do that thing where you run over your own cable with the chair that everyone knows.
Yeah,
That's awful.
that is a bit rough.
So I'm just saying.
Not the hardest problem to fix, but I like that you found a way around it. I hear wireless mice as well. I'm still mentally very much against the wireless mouse for gaming.
I'm gonna have
but
to try it at some point.
People love it.
Well, here we go. Round number 7 coming out. AK's UMP. CSET 75 on Dennis. Very scrappy buy coming out from the NIP team. They want to keep the pressure on NaVi, and I can't really blame them for it, but if NaVi reset this whole game now, make it 5-2, NIP would probably have to struggle almost for the rest of this half to try and find a way to reset the economy and get back into it. It was definitely a bit more tricky. Now they've left Zeus alone inside, with Simple out in the yard.
Yeah, really trying to give NIP different looks of where that AVP is going to be. Double op, they've had it inside a couple rounds, they've had it pushed up. Now it's back outside one more time. Again, utility being used. For the most part, Navi's in front of it, although they do sink back. They're going to allow Simple time to peer over those smokes with the op. Zeus almost getting caught, drops the Molotov, and Simple's on the rotation back, and he's got to get there quick. This is going to be hit. All 5 players for NIP inside. They've given up any presence outside.
Simple holding the high ground, low ground. Zeus getting one. Simple with another one. They need to get out of the range of this AWP. And he's not going to get that flick in. Takes the challenge, and Dennis going to get shut down. Simple is way too quick for that kind of fight. Now it's Lecro and Get Right left, and Get Right tapping away long range, and he can only get the 1 kill. All on Lecro, and Simple was just ready for it. A triple here. And a small display of what he can do. It can get much more dangerous than this, but perfect suited for the situation. And it's fair play for NIP. One of those smokes that was meant for the wall out there was thrown from up on top of Pop Dog.
Yep.
So they were sort of trying to be close to the B bomb site, but the other 2 still had to be thrown from T-spawn. So still was a little bit of a delay in it. And then the fact that they can't really... Maybe, I mean, they could have probably smoked off this position, but...
Again, it comes down. This seems like it's going to be the game plan for NIP on the T side. Is these kind of plays where you attack before without giving any indication that you're coming.
Yeah.
They wanted to come through that smoke. They wanted to kind of catch Zeus off guard. They did it to Simple in the past. Remember.
Yeah.
They did it to Zeus as well, coming out upper. So these timing contact plays for NIP is kind of where they've gone. And it seems like at least for now, NaVi has adjusted, and at least that time had Simple rotated to be able to build upon the 1 kill from Zeus. I think even he was a little bit surprised to see it, or else could have doubled them up as they came through that haze. And look towards inner. We've got a push here. Flamey going to take point with the SMG. Going to clear everything out. Doesn't care about the noise so much. And Get Right obviously hears this at the bottom of ladder room. But no utility to allow NIP to push up.
I like this from NaVi though. Even if it's a round that they're probably going to win, 85% of the time anyway. Just applying the pressure and making sure that NIP don't get to feel too confident either. That's a good start for Flamey. A couple of kills there. They do lose Edward and Sue, so maybe a bit unnecessary. And Lecro, a big opportunity. Readjusting, hoping that he could catch someone coming out of C connector. If only Get Right had the bomb, it would be quite a good end to the round to be able to put that down. He's got 50 seconds and an AK-47, and he's in a massive flanking, lurking mission, Moses.
Which would be a cool idea to be able to take, obviously not a high likelihood of winning it, but to take some weapons away. The problem is, since Flamey has the bomb all the way back down at the bottom of the stairs at T-spawn, it's like there's no trouble for everyone from NaVi just rotating to that position and just holding it. No one needs to spread out. No one needs to watch different angles. Although Electronic could have been safer.
Could have definitely been. Get Right now on 2 health. And with 18 seconds, still, it's not bad for NIP, right? They get 3 kills. That AWP staying alive is obviously critical, and it will. Saving out for the AK into that. Great round from Flamey. 3 kills with the SMG, and then swapping in for an AK-47. So that is actually going to make some of the money that they lost back a little bit for them.
Every little bit helps. couple players are going to be very, very low on this Na'Vi side. Electronic down to 350. Edward as well down to 250. So the nice thing is Simple and Flamey just have a boatload of money as Flamey drops over an M4. 6-2. NIP grinding the money away, but we know Na'Vi love those force buys, so this is one of those teams where it is just very difficult to fully break them, but
Yeah.
you almost don't mind if you get them into that position where they can go for the force buy. Zeus alone again at the inner bomb site.
Yeah, but they've run into Simple there a couple of times, right? So as you said, they don't exactly, they can't really count on it in NIP. They have to think at least there's a chance that that will happen. Lecro going to be smoking off the left-hand side of Ivy. Countered immediately with the Molotov on Flamey. Not sure if there was going to be some sort of rush happening there, but so far just NIP setting up. They are in position to try and crunch this yard from 3 different angles, and it's one of those plays, it's like, it feels so dependent on whether or not you get the entry. If you do, you can sort of tumble the whole bomb side, and then it works out in your favor. But if you don't, then, I don't know, the defense probably will hold. Edward getting very close to get right. He knew he couldn't get back up again. That's a huge fight to be winning. And Lecro coming in, Simple with a follow-up. That's such a big kill. Just as he's jumping up, gets the kill, and then Electronic turning around, taking out Get Right. Dennis and Rez returning. Simple out of the round. The first part has been accomplished. The bomb down on top there with 40 seconds left. Zeus, he's going to get overrun. Now it's all on Flamey 1 versus 2. Oh, and Dennis almost looking the wrong way. Out for the fight, and he wins it somehow with 40 health left. That looked like it could have been a horrible way for NIP to lose the round. If he had just been caught shot in the back, that would have been a bit of a disaster.
I think Flamey was just waiting for the moment. He was just like, why does he keep re-peeking? Why is he still taking this fight? I think he was caught off guard by the fact that Dennis just kept going for that shoulder peek and just 1 or 2 bullets and before committing. Yeah, that could have been much, much worse. And I mean, NIP is doing a great job of finding the timings to hit these bomb sites. Simple entirely caught off guard, and it's miraculous he's able to recover.
You know who's doing a great job right now?
Who's that?
Get Right. 11 kills. He's got more than the rest of his team combined, almost, I think. So he's maybe not quite, but
They're
close.
tied up. Yeah.
It's very close. That's not what we're always used to seeing. It's buying time right now, I guess, for the rest of NIP to really have an impact.
Yes.
But it's not going to last forever, right? So eventually we're going to need to see the rest do some more.
But I mean, even if you move past the number of kills he had, the round where he gets those 3 kills in ladder room, you know, just that previous round. Look at what Navi's going to come into this round as a purchase. It's all thanks to Get Right taking that extra weapon away, or those extra couple weapons away right at the end. I mean, you have 2 M4s, you have an AWP, but there's no utility on that. I think Simple buys a smoke right at the end, but then a UMP and a P250. There would be 1 more M4 in here, and if he didn't get those 3 kills, so fair play to Get Right, finding impact as well. Triple push inside. Na'Vi expecting NIP to change up the point of their attack, and it's just not going to happen. They're out so quick. Just very simple. 1 flashbang. Edward is in so much trouble, and there's no weapons with which to fight out here.
No, there really isn't. And Rez is covering the flank as well. Now we have 2 people that are stuck over here. This is a very good hit, and Na'Vi should probably save what they have right now. This is so hard to get back into this round. They don't have a kit.
Yeah.
It's just going to take too long. So, but, you know, the save again is going to keep Na'Vi fairly competitive. So NIP, they haven't yet got to the point where they say, okay, we've broken them. Now we can take a deep breath and actually make this one work. But every round is a bit of a struggle still.
It's very cool, though, from NIP, like this kind of contact strategy. It's struggled every once in a while, but the one thing that's nice about it is kind of, I mean, it's a risk to kind of do it against an AWP, right? But it's neutralizing the fact that Na'Vi, with all the money early on, just can't clear utility out in time because you don't even see it coming. Oh, such low HP players, they're so afraid the bomb's going to blow up, and it doesn't kill any of them. Close for Zeus, but they outlast him, spraying at the corner, daring him to peek into it, and NIP clawed themselves back into this game. They just need to get that one final win of a round to take all these guns away.
Yeah, I think that's what they're lacking right now. And the fact that they stay alive, I mean, Simple AWP and 2 M4s, that's still pretty frightening.
Yeah, able to drop the SMGs and the shotgun over to their teammates as well. So you have a pretty dangerous buy, especially if Zeus can get this shotgun in the proper position. Looks like NIP is going to head in, or Na'Vi had that stack there the previous round, and NIP went away from it. Now they're going right at that same location, but there's no stack, and Zeus is going to be in a hell of a lot of trouble.
Yeah, especially with that max 7, right? Sometimes you can get lucky and get a lot of damage on the first and just instant kill him, but if you don't get that first kill, things just get very awkward. Now, there are some gravitation towards here. A couple of players moving through C connector. One of them simple with the AWP. Last time they didn't smoke him off. Let's see if they could do it this time. Smoke is up right in front, so looking good right now. He's going to have to try and challenge it. He doesn't get the flick through, and now Zeus, they're getting close there. Max 7 still powerful. Flamey gets one kill, and Zeus not going to be able to complete it. A couple of pellets missing there. Get right spraying on, but Electronic will take him down. The bomb is planted 3-on-4. This is looking good for NaVi. Can they get this retake in? Rez will take down Electronic, and he's down on the low ground and almost getting shot in the back. Indeed, no one there to cover him. And now it's a 2-on-2. They do have a kit and a smoke, so simple. Can he get close enough to actually defuse that bomb? Unfortunately, he has the AWP, so it's a very awkward choice to have to make. Going to be smoking it off. Edward, be a 10-second defuse inside. Tapping it once to try and force them out. Dennis just spraying on through, and that's a headshot. And that just might be the round here. Simple 1 versus 2. No scope on Dennis. Back into the smoke with 3 seconds. And Forrest waiting on the outside. He's going to spray through. 1 second left, and oh my god, he gets the headshot. How did it even bounce that far? It looked like this crosshair was miles away.
Helped out by recoil. There's that little bit of luck coming in for Forrest. Well done. That happened to him earlier as well in Mirage, I believe, a different game, but what a close clutch. Simple, all you can really do in that situation, you find it. Yeah, one of the bullets just kind of goes sideways away from the tracers.
0.7 seconds left on the defuse there. That's ridiculous.
And that was a nice angle to take for the defuse as well from Simple, not directly on top of the bomb, and I don't even think Forrest was really able to read it, just that fortunate trajectory of the bullet.
That was what kind of broke NaVi at least the money here. They've upgraded some pistols, but if NIP can convert this into a win, it's going to get very interesting.
This is such a disgusting T-side they're putting through, and you remember, they lost the pistol in the 2 ensuing rounds. They're putting together, this is going to be their 6th gun round to win. They've had to grind these, and it's been against the AWP. It's been against double AWP, it's been against Simple with the AWP. NaVi, plenty of times, have had everything they've wanted, and NIP just running over them, looking very, very good here on train.
Yeah, they're loving life at the moment, but the focus has to be kept up. It's not like NaVi are bad at playing the T side either. And
listen, we talked about shocks. You have to love this resurgence of Get Right that we're seeing in this event. This is so cool to see Get Right back to having very, very good, very impactful games at the Major.
yeah, I mean, we've talked about some individual stories. We just had a conversation in the last game about death, but Get Right has been through kind of a
lot.
Yeah, kind of a lot for a long time. So, looking a lot better now, Forrest. That was very dangerous. He might not have known it. Edward going to put out that Molotov, and was a chance there. Oh, Simple taking down Lekro and Forrest. That's what you want him for. The power and the luxury of having one person shutting down that Ivy push. Well done.
If you're Forrest, the second player to get taken down by Simple there, you have to just feel like there's nothing you can do. You're trapped halfway up Ivy.
Yeah.
You can't retreat. You can't really go forward. What an unfortunate position to be in. Dennis trying to find something, anything. It's not going to happen, and Rez is the last one left, and he knows there's off on the board, and doesn't even get to the point where he has to face him. 7-6, so NaVi keeping the lead.
Even better, right? Surviving with everybody, and that double AWP. This is why it's so powerful on Train, right?
Yeah.
The first 3 kills that happen are all AWPs. There's almost no chance for a reply. And Simple just still looking good.
I have to say, though, I mean, NIP's got the rounds they need, and obviously you want as many as you can get, right? You're still going to be fighting for these last 2, but you have to be so happy with 6. You mentioned even without the pistol. That's an incredible, incredible job against NaVi.
It's big news for sure.
And they found, I mean, this kind of strategy and this playstyle they've come up with to bring into this game, I've mentioned I've really enjoyed it. They've been fortunate to find the points to attack away from Simple as much as possible. I'm not sure if it's quite guesswork or if they have some kind of a read or some kind of preparation, but you can see what happens last round when they try that very same thing with very little utility kind of contact over towards Ivy. When Simple is actually there, he's going to shut that down quick.
Smoke, Get Right in case the AWP was holding the angle, could maybe force it back a little bit. He's playing a little bit alone over on this side. Just clearing out and keeping that part of the map. We'll see if they are going to be able to do it one more time here. NIP, they must be running out of money as well soon. Electronic down here is hearing a little bit of the jumping, and now that push-up Ivy is coming. Last time it got shut down. This time, Simple holding it from a different angle, but still a very powerful position. Instant kill. Good return, though. Flame taking down Dennis and Edward, shutting down the push coming out of main. That was the bomb as well, and it's alone 37 seconds. Zeus making a bit of noise, still winning the fight against Get Right. That's not bad at all. And it'll be 8-6. A great job for Navi in this round. Flamey, you take down one of those orbs, and then Flamey's still there, still doing damage.
It is funny, though, that it feels like NIP was just like, all right, listen, we're going to have to sacrifice one player to get this op out of Simple's hands. And I think you'll take that trade pretty much any day of the week coming out of Ivy like that. Just no success elsewhere. Well done from Navi, and they haven't taken all the money away from NIP, but they've put them in a tough spot. All CZs. Plenty of utility, though, and this is where you feel like they're going to do an execute outside, bomb those flashbangs over the trains, push up with the CZs with the speed, try and wrap around.
Last round of the half. Navi definitely put to the test here, but also a good recovery from them. Could have been potentially worse. Definitely some rounds where they managed to call on the save in time. They kept the rifles alive to continue fighting. If they had been economically broken earlier in the half, it might have been even more of a struggle for them. So this could end up being pretty even first half, I would say. A lot of grenades, still some Molotovs left. One smoke as well, and they're going to try and see maybe if they can smoke off Simple. Him and Zeus are playing. That's such a good Molotov. They are going to run right through the fire, get right down. Zeus, great defense right here, and that's the round, I think. 5 versus 3, the bomb down. That's so well timed.
Yeah, Zeus caught on to those plays. It knows the timing of the smoke as well. Drops the Molotov as soon as it starts clearing. That's likely the timing NIP is going to go for. Molotov blows up in the air, and they're just kind of staring at this bomb with no utility and saying there's 0% chance we can get that.
Yeah, you wish you could, but the whole squad is here looking, this is not going to finish well. Forrest edging his way in, and now it's all on Necro. So, nice attempt, but not good enough. 9-6 at the end of the half in favor of Navi, with Flamey at 16, Simple at 13, and then Get Right on the other team there at 12.
I'm super impressed with what NIP was able to do. And you might look at that scoreboard and be like, how the hell did NIP get 6 rounds? The frags don't really add up, but they forced a lot of saves very early on out of Navi in a couple different rounds with those timing hits. Yeah, NIP going to be very pleased with that, I think, going into the second half. They're going to be on the CT side now. We'll see what they can come out with. I don't think this is a team as much to be inclined to go for that double up setup, although you never know. We've seen Dennis pick it up and do pretty decent with it. Forrest, obviously.
I'm looking for that Get Right auto
sniper, the classic, especially on train.
If we're bringing it back, then let's bring it all the way back.
Yeah, it's good old days when Get Right just broke the map.
Yeah, that was for the sidewalk on B where Zeus was holding.
Before there was that second level, right?
Yeah. And like you try and come through the smokes there, and it just is going to chew up the whole team. I don't know if it's going to happen. We'll see. They need to certainly win the pistol round first. If Navi win the pistol round, and they end up at like 12-6, that's still a lot of pressure on NIP in spite of a good first half. So we will find out. A couple of smokes and that one Molotov, and the bomb heading this direction. There is a smoke and a kit on Lecro, so if they try for the late Molotov to stop the defuse, they've got the counter for it in NIP. Let's see if it's going to be working out.
Just making sure there's no aggression, no cheating over. Zeus lining up some smokes for outside. This starts to look like it'll be an outer hit. Simple still inside waiting. Here they come. Smoke gonna block off information from Rez. Electronic taking a little bit of damage. They're out, and Force is gonna take this duel all day. He's reloading. That's gonna allow him to at least get this plant out outside the bomb. Planter taking, oh, he's right through the smoke. It's not gonna happen. They're not gonna come through, but a man advantage for NIP.
Yeah, Flamey looking the wrong way, adjusting with the Glock almost out of bullets. He gets the second to last headshot possible. That was quite incredible, actually. Well done on Flamey. Smoke is going to be up on top of the bomb there, trying to force Navi back into the fight here. Defuse already happening, 2 seconds left. Somebody has to stop it, and actually do get it through. Navi win the round. That was incredibly close. I don't even know how much time was left, but it looked like it was almost less than a second. So 10-6 and a big round win here for Navi, in spite of a lot of pressure there for NIP.
That was on the edge. It looked like Edward and Simple both in ladder room. Edward just swung out and took the fight with the player actually challenging, and Simple was the one just spamming for the diffuser. Even line up for him right at the end. But yeah, that was very, very close to just being a defuse inside the smoke. Both pistols going towards NaVi, which will be difficult for NIP to overcome. You
Yeah,
you never like that on train.
No, especially, and then like a best of one, you win both pistols, you are on the right track. Now they just need to follow it through. Some of these deagles, long range, can definitely be uncomfortable when you're playing on the T side. You know you probably going to have to fight at least one or two of them at some point. NIP, this is good stuff for Rez. Why not take the risk?
Yeah, you're going to need something. Don't have any utility to stall them out. Flamey's already down ladder, which can be tense, so Rez doesn't even, I don't even know if he knows it, but he's boxed in here. Edward spots him. That'll put Flamey on notice to see if he falls back out. What a stack inside, and now with that one kill, they can really start investigating and probing this outer bomb site, see what they're working with. The problem is Zeus with the MAC-10, he's the one you'd expect to kind of send out to his death. He's towards inner.
Really hoping that it's going to be a B hit, and it just doesn't feel like it.
No, it doesn't, but I mean, there's still a possibility that they're going to fall back. Flamey's already out now, and yeah, they've seen absolutely no one. They're pretty much already at the bomb site in that outer yard. So yeah, unfortunate for NIP. Save the weapons, try to get next round.
It's worth a risk. It does look a bit silly when it doesn't work out, but every once in a while you get one of those rounds where they don't do their due diligence, and
we've seen a decent amount of them in this major, I feel like, so far.
Yeah.
They're always fun because it's just such a just a firefight.
Yeah.
It just gets hectic and crazy. So 11th round for NaVi, but the third round of this half is still going to have some danger. Nice shot from Lekro recovering, and oh, you do not want to lose any of these AKs. I'm not even quite sure why they're coming this far for the hunt.
I was going to say, not really worth it, is it? I mean, if you give one of them over to the armored opponents, that's a little bit too much. Simple.
You get 3 deagles and an AK in the next round, and that would be, oh, you'll take that every single day. Simple turns the corner, just checks close up, doesn't want to, even that makes you a little bit nervous, but nothing comes from it, so an 11th for NaVi.
Yes, indeed. And probably a 12th, too. These deagles having a hard time finding a target.
Where's your knit magic, Anders? You were a believer. Do you feel it building? Feel it in your plums?
It's been a little bit slow to start with, hasn't it? Like, I mean, I think their T side was good, right? But I'm waiting for Forest and Rez. Like, those were my 2 answers to the Electronic and Simple duo, and they've really not shown up yet. So their chance is going to be in the next fire round, I think. Lekro gets taken out. A little bit of damage here would be helpful, but it's going to be down to the rifles, and I don't know. We're going to need to see Forest have some sort of resurgence, I think, into the second half. Moses, of course, I believe. Zeus does get the kill on Get Right, and Forest has got 1 kill at least. Warming up with the deagle. He's going to be shot at the back if he keeps up this approach. Oh, Electronic. That smoke was covering, but still, should be all fine. AK does get shot in the back anyway, Moses, so it's all good.
It all works out. Well, first gun round coming up. Dennis has the money for the AWP. And they're going to go to a double-up setup. Dennis and Lekro. We'll see what they've got. This is really going to hurt the amount of utility they can bring forward. Garrett only has 4,400. They're not going to have any kits. One player without armor. This is no flashbangs. This is going to be really uncomfortable, I think. They're going to have a tough time in this round.
Yeah.
They better hope those ops get kills, but I mean, the fact that there's 5 AKs and all the utility on NaVi, yeah, this execute can be so difficult.
They're putting on the pressure against the double orb as well. 1 big kill, and this bomb site falls immediately. A couple of flashbangs, a lot of grenades raining in on NIP. They are under a lot of pressure right now. A little bit of damage coming back in. Electronic down to 32, but what a headshot to take down Rez. The perfect opening. NaVi, they must feel it as well. They know if they break them now, that's probably the match, and Flamey taking down Forest. It's not looking good right now for the Swedish team, and it all just falls apart in a matter of seconds. The pressure is so intense, but they actually slow it down to make sure they win that first fight. Very, very good pacing from NaVi. You've got to respect that.
But also, I mean, you can see it's just so hard from people from NIP to get aggressive at any one point during that hit because they don't have the flashbangs.
Yeah.
I mean, NaVi can just stay behind their own smokes. The oppers can't really tell anything. They can't take any shots. Those ops did absolutely nothing for NIP in this round. And as that smoke clears, they have the timing. Flamey knows what that timing is. Forest doesn't. And they're just getting picked apart at this outer bomb site. I mean, just the massive advantage in the utility you can bring to play. And that double op setup that NIP wanted to get into immediately just backfires. because they have absolutely nothing. You can't even really buy pistol armor in this. I mean, Rez and Dennis have done it, but it's still gonna hurt.
Yeah, job well done. That was very cool to see. Like once you call that sort of fast push outside, sometimes you lose track of the troops, right? And they sort of keep running. They get a little bit too aggressive. Like a lot of madness can happen in that moment, but NaVi kept it all on the wraps. I would say generally, I mean, if you combine that kind of round with some of the save calls we saw earlier, it is looking like a slightly more structured NaVi, which you've got to be happy about seeing, right?
Yes, or at least one that's not yelling at each other in between rounds, which is always there goes Dennis. When we've set the bar at don't yell at each other in the Major,
Yeah, well, I mean,
things have gotten to a weird place.
It's got to start somewhere.
Edward dueling and challenging inside. Get Right is going to be forced back. Unfortunately for Get Right, there's pressure all across the map, so no one can really afford to rotate and help him out. Yeah, he's just forced into the waiting crosshair. Bomb is down above the ladder, and NaVi just kind of slow playing this, being cautious all across the map, making sure they don't get caught off guard.
It's not the most exciting, but again, that's not what you're playing for right now. If you're NaVi, you just want to finish this off. And Lecro, wish he could find a fight. He's feeling very lonely at the moment. He's going to get it. Electronic with a quad kill. Stretch out across the round. It's just fine. 14-6, and they're looking really, really well versed on Train right now. 21 kills for Flamey, Symbol on 17. Electronic on 16. Everybody's pitching in right now.
Yeah, everyone's doing great for NaVi. On the other side of things, the NIP, it's not ideal.
No, definitely not. For Teemos, that is considered the second best in the world. This is the kind of NaVi I really want to see in this tournament.
This is the kind of performance. I know it looked a little bit shaky at times, but this is what makes you feel good for the future of this tournament for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the other hand, for NiP, I mean, part of the reason why they're here, those young riflers that have been such studs for them recently, Lecro and Rez, having really tough games. 4 kills for Lecro, Rez at 5.
Yeah. And those were, I think the desk was mentioning as well, so one of the win conditions, right, for NIP was definitely having Lecro, maybe especially, but...
Lecro in the Challenger stage is a big reason why a lot of people got excited about this NIP team. He seems to have cooled off, hopefully not permanently in this tournament. Hopefully he gets something, especially when you consider, as a new in-game leader, putting together that T-side that he just did against NaVi was super impressive.
It was. They have got pretty much one more chance here, and then they'll be economically reset once again, and it's just all going to be downhill from there on out. 14-6 here. NIP hoping to get a 10-round comeback, Moses. Maybe playing overtime, but still. 10 rounds in a row.
I don't know.
Not a believer?
Not much of one. There's always a chance that was in there. Learned that the hard way. Got right. At the bottom of the ramp. Just waiting. Listening. Zeus trying to bait out a shot. I think he might have heard that scope from Flamey and just backs away. Just drops it. Lecro's called back as well. 55 seconds in the clock, and NaVi hasn't given us any indication. They do have a double op setup, which is just naturally going to slow things down because you want those ops to peek in towards bomb site, see if anyone's going to make a mistake. Now they want control of ladder. Oh, Rez almost gets caught. I thought he might go back with that smoke pluming, but
that smoke actually might force them to go to B, and there's 2 people waiting for them. This could be favorable for NIP. Not that far away. Forrest is going to be able to rotate in as well and see connector, so get right. He's got that Molotov prime. 28 seconds, and the timing, they're going to be right down in front of him. They do run past the Molotov, and Simple actually waiting inside of it. That's a big kill. And down on the low ground, Lecro getting the one, but Flamey with instant return. These double orbs from NaVi are just so powerful throughout this whole game. Dennis and Rez, 2-on-4. They had the right people in the right positions, NIP, but the timing was off by, I don't know, 2 seconds on that Molotov.
I think Get Right saw Flamey with that first op jump through the flames and thought he was going to take that follow-up fight with an AK, and he would have been fine for that one, but obviously Simple shuts him down. Not expecting a second sniper.
Well, giving a lot of credit to NIP when they were playing on the T side, but NaVi's T side has looked amazing as well.
It's looked great. I think part of it is the slow play, like it just applies a little bit more pressure on NIP, and now they're just taking everything away from them. Dennis is going to be the only one with a weapon into that next round, and yeah, they have a full Legion bonus, but it's not going to give you a whole lot. The Nightmare scenario. Dennis can drop at M4 and rebuy his smoke, so that's going to help out a little bit. But NIP would have to win 9 straight. I think the magic is not showing up in this one.
No, it's disappeared.
Yeah.
I don't know how you get it back, Moses. I was never really into magic myself.
No? Henry's into magic. Henry knows some really good magic tricks.
Does he?
Yeah.
It's not entirely true. I did used to do, you know, like
Uh-oh.
role playing and stuff like that. So.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You were the kid in the forest throwing the lightning bolts.
Exactly.
That was your video.
You could look at me, Moses, and it's not going to be a surprise, is it?
I remember hearing that story for the first time. That was just unreal.
We had some fun. And some craziness, too. I think it's all fun and games, Moses, but it wasn't. There was some serious moments going on.
Oh, I can imagine.
Somebody
Nothing
once brought a baseball bat wrapped in duct tape.
I was going to say, there's nothing that kind of like PVC pipe wrapped in foam, wrapped in duct tape to really make some serious moments. Here we go. Split into the inner bomb site. Get Right's caught off guard. He's got to fall all the way back. It's a perfect flashbang, though. He holds strong inside the bomb site, but there's only so long he can do that. His teammates are falling around him, and Edward, a great double kill to gain access into the bomb site. Bomb being planted. I think this is it for NIP. I think this is going to be the last round. Rez going to try and flank up the ladder, but they have one kit on Dennis, and he cannot get dropped before he gets into the bomb site.
Absolutely not. Dennis, this is dangerous. Once he's committed to this walk up the lane, he's going to have to be stuck with it. One good kill, a good follow-up as well, taking down Zeus. It's still not through yet. Double up is still holding on here, and it's going to be Dennis continuing on. A great triple for him, and Simple, 46 health up on the high ground. That bomb ticking away. They need to defuse it at some point. Simple just waiting for them, and now they're finally going to try and go for it. He needs one good headshot there, trying to stop it 1 second. Oh my god! He actually gets the kill, and that's it. 16-6. That was 0.1 or 2 seconds left. What a dirty way to win the game. And what a hyper-focused NaVi that we saw out of this one. That was incredible. 16-6. They do such a good job.
They really do. The ops were out in force. Flamey with a phenomenal gain. Obviously, Simple having some great impact as well. That last round is just cool. He's able to spin and get that deagle kill, and then finds the angle that his teammate can't cover him on NIP. Dennis had to get on the defuse. Nice win from NaVi. And as we mentioned, that's the one you want to see. That's the one that gets you excited for what comes next for this team.
Absolutely. I mean, you have the second best team in the world playing in this tournament. You want them to act like it, right? Because there are going to be some teams down the stretch that they'll have to play, maybe especially in best of threes, and it's going to be exciting to see how well they can do.
Yeah.
That Astralis NaVi matchup is like a classic one. It's so much fun to see.
Yeah.
If they play Liquid as well, that could be super exciting. So
that would be awesome.
Yes.
Just because that little grudge match that's going to turn into. And Nap said, you know, we love playing against NaVi. We haven't figured out. It's not that difficult. And Simple just said, well, I'm going to do everything to be able to destroy you single-handedly next time. That would be such an epic matchup if we got that. We're not going to, because Liquid's going to qualify today for the playoffs by beating Astralis. But
still living the dream, Moses.
yeah,
I've tried to help you, but
I know you've done your best. Either way, Freya, you can help us. Take it away.
Yes, I can indeed. Thank you very much, guys. I'm here with the winning side, NaVi, joined by Simple and Edward. So coming off that win yesterday against FaZe, did that help the team's confidence as a whole?
Well, we had the two strong teams before. NAB actually is a great team, so it was pretty nervous at the beginning for me, actually. But the second half, we played really, really great.
Yeah, because the last time you faced it, which was back in June, you actually beat them. So did you feel more prepared coming into this game than versus your other two opponents?
Nothing like that, actually. It's like same preparation before the game as the previous one.
So now, Simple, I spoke to you after your win yesterday against FaZe. What's the team's dynamic been as a whole? Has it been improving since you've been getting those wins?
We are trying to improve after every game, so we have our team talk before every game, and it helps us a lot. Personally, I was more nervous today than yesterday or a few days ago against Astralis, but I felt that we got this game.
So now coming into this game, you guys had a really solid CT side. Flamey really showed up and got some crucial round-winning kills. What do you think enabled this strong performance?
The great discussion before games, the great team talk, the great confidence in all our players help us to get this victory.
So coming on to that second half, that T side, it was something that was a little bit weaker yesterday against FaZe. What were the improvements coming onto that side?
Well, it was different map, you know.
Yeah.
So I think we played really, really good SCT side. We made a lot of great tactics. The first round was really important, and we were on 3-on-4. Bomb was planted. They tried to defuse with the smoke, but Glock spray by Simple saved us a little bit.
Now, Edward, you're a veteran of NaVi. You've been on the side for over 5 years now. Are you happy with how the team is performing as a whole?
Yeah, I'm really happy about my team, but I think we can be much better.
Confident words there. So going into tomorrow, you now have 2 wins under your belt. You've only got to get one more to go to Wembley. How are you feeling?
We're feeling good. We're feeling really good, and yeah, we're just waiting for our next opponent. We're gonna do same stuff as we did against FaCe, Astralis, and NAP. So yeah, we are ready for tomorrow's game as well.
Thank you so much, guys, and congratulations again on that win. Alex, over to you at the desk.
Thank you so very much. Yes, rock solid from NaVi. They put up a wall and did not let the boys from NIP tear it down. It was 9-6 on the half, and then that was it for the Ninjas. 6 rounds is what they end with, and Natus Vincere are just taking the hardest road they possibly could to the Legends stage. Another legendary roster dismantled by NaVi, as they've currently been facing versus FaZe, Astralis, now the Ninjas. That makes it 2-1 for NaVi. And, I mean, what do you make of that game there, Bjorn? Did you see the Ninjas put up that resistance?
I mean, they lost the first pistol round, and after that, I thought they had a kind of a good game plan. They pressured inside. They knew that Zeus was the B anchor, maybe the weakest player in NaVi. But as soon as NaVi figured the game plan out, they adapted, and after that, we saw what happened.
So figured out that they're targeting Zeus. Do you think it was something like that, just kind of feeling like they'd found a weaker side?
Yeah, I actually think Bjorn nailed that. So the first 2 gun rounds went in NIP's favor. You can see they actually they wanted to abuse the inner side, and they wanted to go after Zeus directly right from the start. And NaVi kind of adapted a little bit. They won a couple rounds in a row, and then NIP, strung off 4 rounds in a row as well. And it looked like 2 times in the half that NIP was potentially going to run away with it, right? And both times NaVi adapted, and they ended up ending the half 9-6, which in my opinion was a huge win in their favor. And I think a lot of that has to do with how well they actually managed their economy. And that's weird for me to say that to NaVi, because they're the team that I think force-wise the most, but they had a lot of saved weapons. And actually at the end of that half, I think both Flamey and Electronic had 5 deaths apiece, which is kind of crazy considering, I mean, they lost 6 rounds, 15 rounds total. So they were hardly dying at all. They were saving a lot of weapons.
Right, and this is what I'm saying. Sorry, you can expand upon that point, but 9-6 half on the T side of Train, NIP shouldn't have been particularly shaken, right? That's not a bad half for a T side.
I mean, it's a decent half, but you kind of need the pistol round after that. And I think the biggest mistake NIP did on their CT side was, after losing the pistol, they went for a full force buy. They didn't have any money for the first weapon round. They lost that, another eco, and the match is basically over.
Yeah, is that the brutality of a best of one is those gambles, or lack of them, can cost you. We do have your head-to-head as well. We chose Electronic and Forest. You can see their stats up on your screen as well. It was not necessarily as flamboyant from Forest as it was Electronic, as he really did kind of live up to this trio of doom from NaVi, Flamey, Simple, and Electronic, all doing their bit. And as Sean said, 5 deaths or close to it on that first half.
Yeah, it was kind of a disappointing game for Forest, other than that electrifying 1-versus-1 from upper, where he's just spraying into the smoke and a random bullet seemed like it just caught the head of the diffuser. But Electronic, showed up. The big 3 from NaVi all showed up in this game. They won both pistols, and that's why we see such a lopsided score here. Yeah,
it's the power of the pistol rounds, which I think is going to be a recurring theme on this analyst desk when you've got those crunch time best of ones. Every round counts with a pistol. Extra spicy. Any other kind of final observations you want to make on NIP's second loss of the Legends stage?
I mean, even though they lost both pistols, this was very one-sided. They got 6 rounds on the T side, and that's including that 1v1 that Sean talked about, getting that very lucky headshot through the smoke, and that actually forced NaVi to an eco, which means they actually won 2 rounds off of that.
Okay, well, perfect. We've got so much more Counter-Strike to talk about. I can't wait to pick their brains about it. We'll be bringing Mr. Sponge on, and indeed, this is your standings for where we stand right now. We get to see G2 versus MIBR coming up next. We're going to be seeing what the French can do versus the Brazilian-American mix. Very intriguing to see if G2 can continue this unpredictable factor. They haven't showed up too much. We haven't seen too much from their practice. They've disappeared off the face of the Counter-Strike earth, and they've come back with a vengeance. MIBR stand against them. We'll talk about it after the break.